Tiger fans, the final teams have arrived for the round 18 clash against the Bombers this Saturday night, and there was maybe one extra change in there that I don't think any of us actually expected to see. But we'll go through the ones that we knew first. So we knew the outs were going to be Sam Lawler, Hugo Ralphsmith, Jasper Elgar, and Noah Bolter, because he's got to go to bed early, and the other three are injured, which is very, very unfortunate and bad timing. But the fifth one, the omission of Jacob BLIGHT, I found really, really interesting. And I know there's a segment of people who don't think he played well enough on the weekend and that he's not maybe quick enough to keep up with key defenders. I'm not so sold on that perspective, to be honest. I mean, he had about 18 disposals at 100% efficiency. Despite where his kicks come from, he still was hitting his targets. And in a point in time where we are notorious for butchering the ball, I just think that having a guy that can hit a target is worth its weight in gold for us currently. He took a handful of marks as well. And I kind of thought that he was maybe someone that could play a role at either end of the ground and give us a bit of flexibility. But what is interesting about his omission is it was reported earlier this week that he is one AFL game away from triggering a contract clause. And it's a really interesting coincidence. And I don't know what to read into it, because there's been a lot of speculation throughout the year, and largely from fans, because, you know, that's what we all do, that we've got 8 or 9 key position defenders, and at some point something's going to have to give. Someone's going to want opportunity elsewhere. It just makes sense. And then there's the Jacob BLIGHT connection back to WA. Would he want to explore that option? Does he want more game time? And that was kind of the two putting one and one together on that front. And then all of a sudden, it gets omitted on the back of a game that I don't think you would typically omit people for. I think the matchups in this game probably suit and work for him as well. So it's just fascinating. I'm keen to hear everyone's thoughts on that. What do you think on the Jacob BLIGHT piece first and foremost? It's truly a fascinating scenario. But the inclusions for this week, they all probably went as we expected, I reckon. We've got James Trezise coming back in, and this is on the back of a month of some really good football from Trezise. We know he's dual position. He can play halfback or he can play wing. And with Hugo Ralphsmith out, my assumption would be that he'll take the wing spot. Although, given he's been named on the interchange, I do worry a little bit that he might be the sub. I feel like if it's based on the interchange players, I feel like it's out of he and Sonzi. But Sonzi went at 88% last week, and again, in a time where we need people who can actually use the ball by foot, it's probably better to have him on the field at this stage, to be honest. So Trezise will be an interesting one, but really glad that he's fought his way back in. He thoroughly deserves this opportunity. And like Tiggs and I said on Wednesday, and even the Monday night crew as well, I definitely think that long-term Trezise will be an AFL player for us. It's just buying his time to get to fit into the right mix somehow. But he's had a really good month, so I'm pumped for him. We've got Jacob Kazitsky coming in, which is probably the one that caught a few by surprise. It didn't totally catch me by surprise. I said all week I'd be totally comfortable with him coming in to play this week. And I know it'll divide a lot of people. I know a lot of people don't think he's AFL standard. What I will say is, though, you gotta have an understanding of what he's coming in to do this week. He's not coming in, I don't think he's coming in as a defender. That remains to be seen, but that's just my view based on what I'm about to explain. But we need a makeshift forward line, and as I've said for many, many weeks now, we need an experienced body up there to compete. We cannot let Jonty Fall and Tom Sims fight this out against experienced defenders. Now, if you cast your mind back a year ago when we played Essendon and Jordan Ridley's first game back, we pretty much exclusively kicked it on top of his head, and he took about 15 intercept marks for the game. It was ridiculous. And as you all know, you all watch the Richmond games, it's a common theme for us that we tend to kick it down the line, and the other team will mark it, turn it over, and away they go. We need to stop letting that happen. Otherwise, we're not going to score enough goals. And this is a game that we can potentially win or be ultra competitive in. So for those who watched the VFL game on the weekend, Jacob Bauer went down injured, which was horrible. And Batchelor threw Cozzy forward. So Cozzy was playing in defence where he usually plays for the last couple of years. But Batchelor chucked him forward. And his sole role was to be just an ultra competitive beast. Bring the ball to ground. Don't let the Cats defenders mark it. And it brings our smalls and mediums into the game. And he did it really, really well and drew the praise of Batchelor as well post-game. And Batchelor even said that he felt that was a large part of the reason as to why we were able to come back and win that VFL match. He kicked a goal as well, which was a good bonus too. So when we talk about and think about Kazitsky coming into the AFL team, don't judge him based on the marks he doesn't take, because I don't, as silly as this is going to sound, he's not coming in to take the marks down the line. If he does take them, excellent, bonus. He's coming in to make sure they don't mark the ball down the line, because Laverde and Ridley are going to try and intercept mark and cut things off like the other key defenders do every week against us. But I just think that with Kazitsky's defensive knowledge now, and he's been doing that for a couple of years, I think it's actually equipped him better to defensively stop forwards from marking the ball, hopefully, if he plays that defender role even as a forward. His spoiling's good. His body positioning's usually pretty good. He was able to outmaneuver people in the VFL as well. I know AFL and VFL is different, so don't come at me with that. I understand that. But from a strategic point of view, I think it makes sense, especially if they're not willing to go with Blight. That was the option we have to go with. So let's not jump down Cozzy's throat. Let's wait and see what unfolds. And like I said, don't judge him on not taking 5 or 10 marks, because that's not what he's there for. He's there to make sure they don't mark it, because if Ridley doesn't mark it 15 times, that means our small forwards get 15 more chances to try and score. So that's essentially what it's all about. Jaden Short coming back in as well. I think that's a good inclusion. I know people might want him to play another game in the VFL. I think it's very circumstantial based with the players we're missing and the experience missing in a game that we can be in and maybe win. It makes sense to put him back in. He had 29 disposals as well. So form-wise, I think he ticks that box. What's going to be interesting is his position. It seems like for all intents and purposes, he's playing halfback, but I do not think it will be at Sam Banks' expense. And it better not be. It's as simple as that. I think they're more likely to throw Tom Brown forward or do something like that and slot Shorty onto the halfback line, which I think is okay. I don't mind Tom Brown venturing down forward and giving another option. So that's fine too. Tyler Young comes in for his first game in a long time after his ACL. Super pumped for Tyler Young. Again, I've seen some weird comments that people saying, oh, he's not AFL standard either. I think they've got some short memories, because if you remember back to before he hurt himself, he was doing very, very well for us. Just workmanlike, gets the job done, doesn't do the flashy running from defence, just gets his fist in, spoils the ball, and very much like Miller, was very rarely losing a one-on-one contest. And I think he had a good game on someone like a Tom Hawkins at one point as well. So he's still got a bit to offer, I think, at AFL level. And I've mentioned this before, but he only started playing AFL really late, like 2016 he started up. So he's still got plenty of development, growth, and learning to do as well. And his form in the VFL the last few weeks has been really, really good. Kicked a couple of goals, taking game-saving marks, spoils really well. He's actually been providing offensive run too, which has been interesting. So I'm all for him playing, and I think it's well-deserved. And obviously we've got Taj Houghton coming back in for his, or not coming back in, but coming in for his debut, which everyone is super excited about. The kid's got just ultra talent, and I don't want it to sound like we're heaping pressure on the kid, because we're not. I think don't get excitement confused with pressure. I think everyone is just bursting at the seams to see this kid play at AFL level. We've seen him now for 3 weeks at VFL level do really good things consistently. Hitting 20-25 disposals, kicking goals. I think he had 8 tackles last week. He was in centre bounce attendances, plays that good half-forward role as well. And I think he's going to be a really good link-up player from the backline transition to the forward line. I would love to see him maybe get into a centre bounce at some stage on Saturday night, but we all know that's probably not going to happen. But if it doesn't and he just plays half-forward, the beauty is that he knows how to play half-forward. Like, it's actually something he's familiar with. So we should see a better outcome there with his positioning and the way he runs. So Taj Houghton, we are bloody excited to see him play. And yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting. So they are the ins and outs for the week. I think I covered all the ins. Apologies if I missed one. But yeah, 5 changes, 4 of them forced, and we'll have to see how this lands. But it's definitely a game we should be in and hopefully winning. But let us know what you think in the comments below. Are you happy with the ins and the outs? What do you think about Cozzy coming in? What do you think about the BLIGHT omission? Plenty to discuss. Let me know what you think. And until next time, go Tigers.